Everybody, this is Dream, and today we have two slates of tiers games tonight. We have the first slate, which is the 10 game 7 p.m. slate. That's Eastern time, and then we have the 9:30 Eastern slate for tiers with 3 games. Before I get started, though, can you guys smash that like and subscribe button? Also, check out the memberships that we have just enabled on YouTube. We've just got approved for this, so this is pretty awesome. Hopefully, we can start doing more content and stuff as well as a result. This is going to give you some perks as well, as you'll get my daily write-ups for each thing that I was doing on Patreon. I am going to try to close down Patreon and just use this exclusively. With that said, if you're interested in these, I can just show you. So you're going to get the loyalty badges, and then if you have some ideas for emojis that you want on YouTube, then let me know. For the $4.99 tier and above, you will get member shoutouts, and you will get the daily write-ups that I do every day for whatever sports I end up playing. I will also do some core play posts as well. Then obviously you can connect with me on social media, get some direct lineup advice, and even tell me what sports you want me to make videos for. So come check out the memberships here. I really do hope this can help boost the channel a little bit. With that said, let's get into the core plays here for this tiers slates. We're going to start with T1s, and our 2 overall top options are going to be Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts. Now, obviously, these 2 guys are playing in Coors Field. I do like Freeman a little bit more than Betts, as he's been better against the pitcher, and he's been just as good as Mookie has been throughout the season. I think his batting average is better as well, and he probably has a little bit more home run potential in this one. So I do like his upside here, but they both have top tier options. Moving into the tier 2s, we're going to look at Trey Turner as our top overall one, with Marcus Semien and Bryce Harper being available as well. Trey Turner has the best matchup when it comes to against the pitcher he's facing today, as he's had a 313 average there and 16 at-bats. He's also the best when it comes to the pitcher handiness, and also, one of the better hitters on this particular slate in general. He also has good potential for, home runs and stuff like that. As for Semien and Harper, they both draw some good utility here, especially home run upside. I think Semien is a little bit safer than Harper, but they both have nice utility. Moving to tier 3s, we're going to look at Elly De La Cruz and Juan Soto as our top options. And then we're going to also mention Adolis Garcia. I think Elly De La Cruz has top-tier metrics across the board for this slate. He's hitting the ball extremely well so far, and he has really good matchup metrics. Juan Soto is 3 for 6 in his matchups against Keller, and I think he draws some good metrics for this game. And as for Garcia, who he's done a really good job against the handiness of these bats, and so I do think he has some viability here. He's also been pretty good at home, and I do think he's just a solid play in general on the slate. Moving at T4s, we're going to look at Will Smith here for the Dodgers, as he draws great metrics for this game. I like his upside here, and he has the best upside, I think, on this particular slate. But JD Martinez is also in play, as he draws some good metrics against the pitcher. JT Realmuto is also in play here as a good option as a catcher, and has some good contrarian ability here. Then we'll look at our T5s options, and we're going to start with Jose Ramirez for Cleveland, who has just great metrics here, and I like his upside. He's also been very good against the handiness of pitchers, like he's facing today, and Cox, though he will be facing some others as the game goes. Jazz Chisholm is also in play, as he draws some really good metrics for this game. He has a pretty good batting average in this type of situation, and I like his upside, and he has also been the best at this on this T5 slate when it comes to the last 10 or so games. So I do think he's a great option there. And then Adley Rutschman, he just draws really good metrics for this game, and so he's definitely in play as well. Looking at the T6 options, we're going to start with Josh Jung, who honestly, I'm surprised that he's a T6 today. He's usually a little bit higher up on this than that. So he comes off as just overall the best option. But Bobby Witt Jr. is also in play here as he draws really good metrics and has good upside here. And he has some really good utility as a good matchup and a guy that hits the ball well in these types of situations. He's also been really solid at home, and so that gives him some utility. And then finally, Jake Fraley is kind of a contrarian option for this position for Cincinnati, as I just like Cincinnati today. And Fraley has been hitting the ball really well lately in the past 10 games or so. So I think he's also very in play. Moving into the other slate, which is the night slate, we're going to start with Corbin Carroll here. I'm sorry. Why did I say Corbin Carroll? I meant Ohtani. Ohtani is by far just the best play on this slate. He's been absolutely just crushing the ball. Now, he does have a little bit of a tougher matchup here, but he's hitting the ball really well, and he has great metrics here. As for Mike Trout, he's also in play here. Though he doesn't have a great history against Golito, he definitely has some good opportunity. And then Corbin Carroll as well is available and has some really good metrics, and he's hit the ball really well lately as well. All three of those guys are really solid. Moving into this T2 options, Yandy Diaz is a core option here as he draws great potential. I like his upside, home run upside. He's also one of the better guys at this position when it comes to just the output that he's been doing lately and against this type of handiness of a pitcher. Though I don't think he's faced his opponent today before, so do keep that in mind. But then we'll also look at Ketel Marte, who has the best upside against the pitcher, as he's got a 400 batting average against the pitcher in the past. He has a really nice upside here, and he also has been the best of these guys over the last 10 or so games. He's just had some giant games, and so I like his upside here. And then finally, we'll look at Wander Franco, who's kind of a contrarian option for Tampa Bay as well here, with good metrics here, though he hasn't been quite as good lately, but he definitely draws some utility. Looking at T3 options, we'll look at Luke Raley first here, as I really like Luke Raley's upside. He has really good potential. He has nice, I think he's a core play on for the main slate as well on DraftKings, and he definitely draws good utility metrics here. Josh Lowe, though, is a good option off of him, who is also hitting the ball really well lately and has nice upside for this Tier 3 options. Those two guys are definitely the top ones, but I'd also look at Isaac Paredes. If he draws a start today, he'd be in play as well, as he's hitting the ball pretty solidly lately. I just think overall those are the best guys at that position, even though they're all from the same team. T4 guys, this is a little harder of a tier. It's probably the weakest one on the entire slate for either tier slates. So we're going to start with Eloy Jimenez. Now, Eloy has been probably one of the better hitters in this position, or in this tier, rather, when it comes to lately, and so I like his upside, and he's got a decent matchup here. He's also got the second best pitching handiness average against of the type of pitcher who he's facing today. Only Gurriel has a better batting average against his type of pitcher, so I do think he's a solid option today. But we will look at Tyler Ward here, as he's hitting the ball pretty well as well. He also has good metrics, and I like his upside. He's probably got the fantasy points average for the guys on this tier over the last handful of weeks, and so I do think he's a great option on the slate as well. And then finally, Gerardo Perdomo. He draws some good metrics here. He's not a huge home run threat, but he can score fantasy points, and he's been one of the best in the last 10 games when it comes to just pure fantasy point output on this particular slate. Maybe in the tier 5s, we are going to look at Harold Ramirez first here for Tampa Bay. He draws good metrics here. He is my favorite play at this position, though he has not been very good lately. He's only averaging 4 fantasy points a game over the last 10, but he's due for a home run, and this is definitely a situation where he can do it. Jose Siri, his teammate, is also in play. A lot of Tampa Bay guys look really solid today, but he has been absolutely killing the ball lately. I like his upside and great potential. And then Esteury Ruiz, He draws some good metrics here from a stolen base potential, as he does manage to get stolen bases a lot, and that can make or break your ability to get a win in tiers, and so I do think he's a great option. Moving into the tier 6s, I have 3 good options here, and Evan Longoria being the first one for Arizona, as he draws some good metrics, and he's by far the best recently, averaging over 10 fantasy points a game for the last 10. He draws good metric matchups here, and he's also been decent at the handiness, so I like him a lot. Josh Donaldson is also in play for the Yankees, as he draws some really good metrics here. He's hit the ball really well in the past, though he has been slumpy lately. He has some potential here, as he's got a perfect batting average against the pitcher he's facing today in TIERS. And then Andrew Vaughn for the Chicago White Sox does have a little bit of an annoying matchup, but he has hit the ball well recently, and I like his upside, and he draws good metrics for this matchup, especially throughout the season. So with that said, guys, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. Make sure to check out the Patreon or the YouTube memberships here, and if you have any comments or questions about anything, the tiers or anything else, feel free to leave a comment below, and have a nice day, guys.